Well, hello, people. Uh, I'm doing another music review. It seems like most of the music reviews that I've been doing aren't really like reviews. Like it's mostly me just talking about, hey, you guys need to watch and get this album. But what's it called? Today I'm going over Palaye Royale's The Bastards CD. And I really enjoy this band. I've seen them live, I think twice already. Like it was a few years ago. I saw Palaye Royale with, I watched them with Sleeping with Sirens, and then I saw them again with, who was it? I can't remember the other band at the time. If anything, it was like a trio or something. But I was always surprised with this band just because, like, at one point when they were first starting out, I guess it was like because it was during their first album, uh, the Boom Boom Room. I think that's what it was called. The Boom Boom Room Side A, I think was what it was. And they came out with other singles before that, but like that was mostly when I started seeing them. And what's it called? I really love this band just because they do music blended with a bunch of different styles. Uh, when I saw them live, it was cool because knowing that they were first starting out, they just started playing. Like they were tuning their instruments the whole time, and then they started doing songs while they were tuning the instruments and stuff. Which if you've went to a bunch of concerts before, you would know like that they usually do that sort of stuff anyway. But like it felt different from them just because they were kind of getting crowd participation, all sorts of stuff, and trying to, like, I don't know, just jam really. So I have like videos on my Snapchat and stuff like that that have like for them jamming out and stuff like that. But anyway, this album feels like more like if they had a lot more production and everything for like their rest, if they had the same production levels or money into their music that they did in the first two albums. I mean, not saying that their first two albums sucked or anything or whatever. It just makes it sound better on this record than the other records did before. And I really enjoy this band. Like, Lonely is one of my standout songs off of this. And then Fucking With My Head, of course. I think that's the main one that I'm going to ever, like, keep listening to. Is that one. And then I'm trying to think of the other song. Jeez, I'm horrible at this. Mostly because I don't prep anything before I start saying anything, which maybe I should anyway. But what's it called? I kind of just sit there and talk about things if you haven't noticed. But most of the songs on this record, I think this is just like the other records that I've been reviewing before, where I've enjoyed every single song. Like there's certain standouts for it, like that I just love more, like Fucking With My Head or Lonely and stuff like that. Mostly because a lot of them give me the same feelings that I feel through like a lot of. I'm like once you resonate with the songs, it makes you like understand it more and enjoy it more, really. So with this album, like there's a lot of like I love the jazzy type of influences, but they also have like metal type of stuff where the lead singer sings in a jazzy tone, or at least a bluesy or a jazzy tone, but then he'll start screaming in most of the songs, and where it doesn't sound like it's like if anybody that wasn't a metalhead would listen to this record, they would probably enjoy it because you could hear what he's saying and stuff like that. Because most of the time, whenever I hear any drawbacks from why people don't listen to metal, is because it gives them a headache because it's constant screaming. But and like this band is different, and where it's like mostly jazzy overtones and stuff like that, and Screamin's voice just sounds like a good like singing. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. It's like he is singing the whole time, but it's got like a throaty type of scream to it too. It's kind of, I don't know. That's the best way that I could interpret it anyway. But the guitarist is freaking amazing. I think I met at least I think I just at least said hi to the drummer, which the drummer is like super cool and laid back and shit. And same with, pretty much all the guys are super laid back, but I have a picture where I was with the lead singer, like after the show or whatever. I was like, yeah, you guys were awesome, blah, blah, blah. But like they were super chill. I think it's probably gonna be different now. Like probably knowing that they are like pretty much exploded. Even like the second time that I saw them compared to the first time that I saw them, it was like they exploded overnight because like they were super chill and laid back. And I met them all after the show. And then their second record, they started doing VIP and meet and greets and stuff. And then, like, they had a whole army of people. I don't know if they just call it the Royale Army or whatever. I don't know, like, the name for their fan base is. But, like, that's one of the main things that I saw on the second time that I saw them was a bunch of jackets, a bunch of, like, people were going, like, super hardcore for Palaye Royale. They remind me if, like, a metal band or, like, a rock band. Kind of like Led Zeppelin, right? I mean, kind of like Led Zeppelin now, but for, like, kind of boyish, boy band tendencies. Because all the guys are, like, good looking, right? Especially the lead singer. I think he's the standout guy for it. But they're all good looking. A lot of chicks are into this band and stuff like that. Like a lot of the time whenever I did see them in concert, like all the chicks were screaming. All of them were singing to their songs. But this album really at the end of the day sounds like a culmination of like what they want their sound to be or like their music to sound like, really essentially. Like because they like to get stuff that it sounds like a lot of stuff like I don't even know who does most of the writing for the group. I mean, it could be all of them just as a shared team or whatever, but whoever writes the music sounds like he's been through a lot, like fucking with my head, especially like talking about like what I take out of it is like you being in a relationship where people are just like the significant other or whatever is fucking with you the whole time and driving you nuts because you're trying to figure out like why she's acting the way that she's acting, or at least that's what I'm taking out of it. But also at the same time, that's one thing that's great about music is that you might interpret it like that, but then somebody else might be like talking about a best friend or like a mother or a father or a brother or sister or whatever. It could be interpreted a million different ways, just different because of how he went through it, right? That's just how I was figuring that it was, but that's through my shit. But what's it called? This album is just really great, and I definitely recommend a lot of people to like start following this band just because like if you love like old school like jazzy and bluesy stuff, but then you're also into like rock like Led Zeppelin and stuff, the Palaye Royale reminds me of I'm trying to think of the other band right now. Damn it, why can't I think of them? The other Led Zeppelin sounding band, but they do it better. Dang it, why can't I think of them? I'm sure after the video I'll be like, damn it, how the fuck did I not remember that band? But what's it called? But anyway, I think that they're just a better band compared to the other one. I mean, the other band sounds more like Led Zeppelin, but this band blends more styles into their music rather than just sounding like a complete ripoff of Led Zeppelin. Not saying that I don't like that other band, but still. But anyway, most of the songs on this record are just like perfect for me. Like I could just listen to the record. Like I go to the gym like about 5 times a week. And like I'll put this on repeat a lot of the time with the other bands that I've been reviewing, but like anytime whenever I'm in a certain mood. But this band especially, it's like them and Dance Gavin Dance, I can like listen to them like nonstop, like with all their catalog or whatever. So I'm definitely intrigued to where they go from here. Like if they get more fans or whatever. I don't even know where their album has charted at all either. I don't know if it's been like number one or whatever. It should be close or whatever anyway, because a lot of people are watching this band or listening to the band. I definitely think that more people should compared to other groups like Justin Bieber and shit. But that's like a tale for, like, maybe in one of my next videos I'll talk about like why I don't like certain other bands, but that'll be another video, definitely for sure. But really at the end of the day, this album is just a good record. It's not, I don't say that I would say that it's great or anything, but like it's definitely, it evokes everything that I like in music or that I love in music, where I could just put it on if I'm cleaning or doing anything or even working or whatever, and I could just listen to it and jam out the whole time without no problems at all. Like, or like it's kind of like when you hear Rage Against the Machine or like anything on the radio, when they play Rage Against the Machine, Disturbed, certain songs that you've listened to a million times, right? But then you could still re-listen to it again, where you're just like, God, I'm tired of this song. But then you'll start listening to it, and then you'll start getting back into it again. It's like it just keeps on, like, even if you think you're tired of the song, you still keep listening to it, like, a lot of the time. Not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, that's where I think of it as. Like, I mean, I love a lot of those songs on the record, but it's like, like, I definitely think that their last two albums, especially Boom Boom's Room side B, I definitely think is like their best record completely, just because I could jam out to that all day. But I mean, if they keep going this way with their music and keep on just adding to this stuff, I think people will listen to them forever. And definitely, I don't think that like some bands will have the problem with trying to add too much or trying to change their sound a lot of the time, and I think they lose the sense or like, I think that's why a lot of bands or a lot of people that are into bands, like when they've been listening to them since their first record, they kind of lose themselves in the process of trying to innovate. And I think like some bands don't really need to do any innovation. They just sit there and do that one thing. It's like Ailstorm. They do pirate metal and that's all they stick to, right? They do stuff where it sounds like good to them, and then they're totally fine. I definitely think right here is their sweet spot. I don't think that they, like, I mean, granted, you could do tweaking with certain sounds and stuff like that, but I think this is what brought them to the game, and I think that this is what's gonna stay in the game. Like, if they're gonna keep on growing more people, I definitely think that their sound should be like this completely. I don't think that they should change or veer off too much. I mean, this is coming from a guy that doesn't have no musicality or like musicianship. I don't, like, I've played the guitar, but I haven't like sat down and tried to learn everything on the guitar. This is just somebody that loves music. And so, I mean, sounds kind of goofy coming from a dude that has no background in this shit. I just sit there and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I think it sounds like, or this is like trying to enjoy it. And this is not being barely any criticism. I'm not trying to like criticize the shit that I don't know. I'm just saying like what my thoughts are on this record, really. And I really enjoy this record. I've said that like 4 times now, but but what's it called? I definitely think that you guys should check this album out. Definitely. But if you guys want to, I might as well wrap this up while I'm doing all this. Otherwise, I could talk for like another like 20 minutes, just about whatever. But if you guys have any more recommendations or whatever, all our socials are on Horror to Geek. I'll try to link them down in the description. And you can like and subscribe or whatever. If you guys are even enjoying any of this content, I think we've only had like barely any subscribers, but I'm just trying to do shit that I love on here. Like, and music is one of my main loves. I go to concerts and whatever, so like that's mainly what it is. But if you guys have any recommendations for it, just leave it down in the comments and then I'll just check it out. And if I love it enough, I'll eventually make a video on it, I'm sure. But what's it called? I'm trying to think of what else I might cover in the next video. It might be Lamb of God's new record. I'm thinking about that one because I've been enjoying that one a lot lately. But I'm sure that it'll be something like that, metal related or whatever. Maybe I'll switch it up and do something different. But in all, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you.